This is a video on the use of lights within Cinema 4D. You can see over here I've set up a scene. Actually, let me turn off my render area here. A very simple scene, which is a box, which is sometimes called a Cornell box, because Joseph Cornell was an artist who used to make boxes like this. And I have three sides of it that are colored red, green, and blue. The top is black but has a hole in it, and the bottom is white. And then it has a cone and it has a sphere in it, as you can see. You'll notice the cube is the most complicated setup because it has all these different textures on it. And I do, you know what, I wanted to remove it, but I do have a light in here to begin with. Let's get rid of it. Light. Good. Okay. So right now there's no light at all. And what's curious about this is that we can still see things because Cinema 4D has set them up to be self-illuminating. So everything is casting a light based on its color, without any lights whatsoever. What I normally tell you to do, yep, Control Z, let's undo that. What I normally tell you to do, and I'm going to split this screen like that. So this half is the real-time hardware display, and this is the software. I have you throw in what we call a physical sky, which is that. A physical sky is actually a light that comes from every direction. If you notice right here, the time is 12 o'clock. I think you can even set the location. Let's set it to New York City, United States, Mexico, USA. And since they don't have Mawa, we'll pick New York City. So that's New York City. Let's wind our time back. Let's get New York City right in the morning. How it was this morning, which as you can see it isn't very light yet. Let's get our sun coming up. It's getting towards 7. There we go. Our sun's coming up. And actually that's beautiful morning sunlight, if you think about it, right? We can see a shadow being cast as the sun rises over here. Nothing's coming through the top because there's no light up there, because the sun is coming from where the sun's coming from. Let's get later in the day, closer to when class starts. Let's say there. Ooh, now you see we have light coming through the top, casting a shadow. See that sunlight there? And we have light coming through the front, and that's generally good enough to make a scene look okay. And that's why I have you do that. That's why that's the first thing I taught you what to do, is just throw in that physical sky. Let's ditch that, and let's talk about actual lights, okay? If I go like this, right now we have, you know, it's the environment lighting itself. But as soon as I put a light in there, the type of light I'm going to put in there is a particular type of light called a point light. A point light is meant to imitate like a light bulb hanging from a string. So it casts light in every direction. If I go here and I go just light, boom, it puts in the middle of everything, as you see, this light. And when I move it, it should cast light that way. If I look around, I bet this is in front, yeah. We can make it cast light less or more so, as you see. We'll pull this, based on where it is in relation to that opening on top. If it goes behind everything, we should have no light at all. Like that. We're getting to no light. Okay. This is a weird thing about that light, though. There's several weird things about that light, which we should talk about immediately. Let me put that light over the top of our hatch here. Ooh, I have it. See, I have it somewhere very weird and far away. Let's go over here. You know what I'll do? I'll go to all 4 views, because that's actually the easiest way to quickly move these things. I'm going to put it right over the top there, and right over the top there. So it's right over that hatch. Okay, let's go back to all 4 views here. Boom, we're over the hatch. Let's go to the basics. Nothing too much there. Let's go to general, which I would think means basic too, but whatever. Okay, it doesn't have any shadows. See that? No shadows. Lights come out of the box here, they don't cast shadows. Let's give it some. We're going to use the Shadow Map Soft. My scene changes, see? We get a shadow here underneath our cone. We get a shadow underneath our sphere that is reflective and mostly transparent as well. And you see we don't see those in the hardware view, but we do see them in the software view. You'll notice if I change the type of shadows, and I haven't done that yet, I'm actually just moving this around so you can see the shadows change what they're doing. Shadow maps are actually image maps that fake shadows, which give it a nice soft edge. Ray traced are actually shadows based on lights, on rays tracing out from the light. So they're sharper. You can see here, I probably have to increase the quality of my render region here to get that edge better. That edge is junky there. When I turn this up, I increase the quality of the render region. And then the other choice they have is area, which is a shadow based on the size of the light, which is in a separate place. Actually, if I'm correct, it's, well, you know what, let's not even look at that right now. Let's stick with ray traced shadows for the moment. Let's look at some other things about the light. The color, I can make it any color I want. If it's red, only that red wall and the white is shining, right? If it's green, only the green wall. If it's blue, only the blue wall. Actually, that's kind of neat, isn't it? That goes over that. I can animate that if I want to by just clicking this swatch here. We'll start on red. We'll go up to frame 10, let's say, and let's get ourselves to green. And we'll key that again. And I'll go to frame 20, and we'll get ourselves over to blue. And we'll key that again. And now what you'll see happening is my light will change its color over time. The render region on this takes time, and it looks better, as you can see. I may even want to generate a quick preview. What are my previews? Character, animate, make preview. And we want to make a preview of frames 1 to 20. We'll put that over there. And I'll hit OK. And in the background, that's going to generate fast. If I go down here, it should show me that you know what? I didn't do it right. Let's do that one more time. Under animate, make preview, we want, you know what, we'll go for the full render. Oh, from frame 0 to frame 0. Frame 0 to frame 25. You know what, my numlock isn't on. There it is. Okay. Now down here, that's it generating the preview. And now it spits it up. And you can see what that looks like if I hit play. Which is kind of interesting, right? Let's pull that out of the way here. And let's put in another one of those lights. As a matter of fact, I'll just duplicate it. Can I Control C and Control V that? I can. Look at that. This light, why don't we make a different color? We'll make it green to start. Good. I like that. And then we'll get to the middle part here, and we'll make it blue. Good, and it should key if I push that key button. Oh, see, it didn't get the first one. Let's go back to green. There, and see how that's orange? It means I've changed it, but I haven't set it. Now I've set it. Now it's changing over time. The first one, am I on the first one? Yeah. Let's make you green, and let's key you. Good. Now they should both change. We want this one to be blue now. And now they should both be changing. Yeah, green to blue. And this one's going to end up as red. You know, we'll go there. And if I pull across that, you get an idea what the two different lights are doing. They should also both be casting shadows. Yes, they both are casting shadows. And you'll see an interesting thing. They're different colors. We're getting this magenta, which is going to be a mix of blue and red. Um, our light color is actually magenta, is probably why that's happening. The other light is green. Let's see what's happening as they go across. We should be getting different mixing colors, yes, like that. Uh, you know what? I'll generate another preview. Uh, when I'm working on a project like this, 1 to 25, I might generate, 30 or 40 previews. That's not unusual. I want to get an idea what's happening. Well, that's got a very disco sort of vibe to it, doesn't it? Okay. The other thing I can do is I can also move the lights and animate them. Let's take the first light here, and you know what? Let's close the render region. Better ways of doing that, but I'm going to put it there, and on its first frame, I'm going to key its location, which should be there. And then I'll go to here, and I'll key it down to there. Go to its auto keying. It should be auto keying. Let me see. Is it auto keying? Nope. Let me go down to there and hit the key button. Now it's keying. Let me go to here, and I'll move it up to here. We'll key that again. And so now, you know what? I grabbed the keyframe rather than the playhead. So now that light's doing this, and the other light is stationary. But let's generate a quick preview again. Character. What am I looking for here? Animate. Make preview. You know what? Let's do viewport, because it should get the viewport. You know what? It didn't, but that's okay. Well, we'll show it like this. This is just the hardware renderer, which is very fast. Let's do a preview again. Make preview, and we'll do the full renderer, 25 frames. Let's take a little bit longer. You'll see that there, but we'll see it with all the reflections of the transparency and all the kind of cool stuff going on. Yeah, that's pretty interesting, isn't it? And there's not even any animation or textures on any of the objects. That's just lights moving around. I'm going to show you one other type of light here. Let's close this. You notice under here under lights, that's the basic light called a point light, which moves around. Let me show you the spotlight. The spotlight gets its own icon, which you'll see will look sort of like a spotlight for obvious reasons. We'll pull it back here. Like the camera, which we discussed before, the spotlight has an angle that shows where it's hitting. If I look at that light, probably under details, yeah, this is where I set those angles. So let's say I want a really sharp, intense white spotlight, and I want it to hit this ball over here. Let's rotate that light so it does that. Good. So now we have a very intense spotlight. Let's go back to its settings, light 2 here. General. Its intensity is 100. I can go above 100, by the way. I can go drastically above 100. I go to the thousands, and that means I'll get much brighter highlights. We'll put it up there so it is pretty bright, and we'll make it white, which I like. Let's go to the details. Let's animate the angle of it. The outer angle is right now 3 degrees, and we're going to key that, and then let's expand it to that 36 degrees. So now that light is doing that, which is kind of interesting, right? My other lights are still doing their thing. It's so bright, it's overpowering the color of those lights. Let's go back to its intensity. We'll bring it down. That's intensity of 100, which is too low, I think. I like 172 because then I see what it's doing. But I can also animate that. Let's key the intensity at 172 there. When it gets very small, we'll key it to a lesser value, like that. And now that light should be, yeah. Let's generate a quick preview of that. Preview, 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 animate, make preview. Same range. Pumps it out while I'm working, and then shows me this. Oh, now that's kind of cool, isn't it? You can do a lot with lights, by the way. Many cinematographers I know go to a 3D program before they go to a set to figure out what they want all the lights to do, because it saves a lot of time and energy. Rather than like getting to set and saying, move that light over here, do that, they can go in here, put rough figures in, line things up, and get an idea what they're doing. And again, get some pretty neat effects. I'm going to show you one more light type. Let's close that. I'm going to take my cone here, which has done not much of anything, right? There's my cone. It's got no real textures on it. And I'm going to animate it. Let's go to the first frame of our animation. I'm going to animate my cone starting here. Now let's rotate a little too, so the bottom of it is facing towards us. Let's key that, and we should also key the rotation. Oh no, I don't have to key the rotation right now. And I'll go forward to here, and let me move it over here, and key that, and I'll drop it down to here, and I will key that. Ooh, by mistake, I didn't move my Control Z. I didn't move my timeline. Gotta do that. Now let's key that. Good. And we should have like this kind of straight line move like that. And you know what? Maybe let's make it rotate once during that. Let's go to our first frame here. You know, it's funny, I didn't want to expose all these. Let's just key the rotation. And then I'll go down here. Let me see if I can do a, you know what, we'll do it like that. And let's key that rotation. Did it key? Yes, it did. Okay, that I sort of like, right? But I want to keep attention on that. So I have a special type of light, which is a spotlight with a target light. So you see, and you see it comes from way up there. But I'll move that, you know, down like that. See, because it's already looking at its target. I want to put its target underneath my cone. So that now, that spotlight, light 3, should be following, yes, my cone. I have to figure out where the light is again first. As you see, it's in a weird place. Let's move it over here. You see it changes direction because it's always going to stay aimed at, let's go back here, the cone. And also I can change its highlights. Let's make its outer angle much thinner. And we'll lift it up so it hits our, you know what, that target doesn't seem like it's in the right place. Yeah. I have to put it on the cone, which is sort of annoying, but that's okay. It's already lined up to travel with it, so now it should, yep, follow that cone. See that? Let's generate that quick. So we can see everything that's happening in it. We'll generate a quick preview of that. Animate, preview, 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 make preview. 1 to 25 should do it. Every time I add a light, it makes it a little bit longer to render, you'll notice. But let's see what the results look like. Okay, so we have 2 point lights that are moving around that are also changing color. And we have one spotlight that's just on the transparent globe and another spotlight that's following the cone. I'm going to generate one more preview for you. I'm going to go into my point lights, which are my light and light there. Select both of them. And if I go into their visibility, I should be able to make them seeable. Type visible light will make it visible. Now we don't see Boo there, see that? But if we pull the render region, they become very visible. In those big areas, those are where the lights are affecting the size. If I go down a little bit, you'll see. What I mean is those big spheres. If I select my lights again, I want light 2, and let's see where their size is. I think it's here. Visibility, inner distance, outer distance. Yes. We'll make them smaller, like that. And now you'll see how they light like that? In fact, we can even animate that. Let's animate that. Oh, I should have put that on the first frame. Let's try that again. Okay, they'll start that big. I think I only have one selected right now. Let's see what it does. And they'll go to that big. Let's generate that because I'm having too bit of time playing with lights, frankly. Okay. Let's see what that looks like. Oh yeah. I mean, it's kind of just colorful line candy, but it's good colorful line candy. Okay. That's a quick thing in lights. It covers intensity, it covers animating them, covers changing the color of them, covers the point light, the spotlight, and the target light. Thank you for your time. Enjoy using Cinema 4D.